My name is Elisa Toro Franchi. I'm from Colombia, currently based in New York, where I dance with FJK Dance, where I had the opportunity to meet Mike and collaborate with him on the composition of Reflections. I was featured in the choreography of Reflections, and hardly have I ever been able to connect so deeply with a piece of music as I've been able to with Reflections. The work is about the reflections of light onto water, and the music vividly conveys that experience, that texture, in how the melody changes, in how the melody moves. I felt as if I were able to literally submerge into water and delve in it and experience its tension through the notes, through the melody, to the changes in the melody. I will show you very quickly a picture of me dancing it. It was a remarkable experience.
I'm Tatiana Wexler. I'm an actor, singer, dancer, writer, and a piece I collaborated with Mike on is a dance piece called Nyawa Jashu. The way we worked on it was that we met with our choreographer who brought us onto the piece, and the three of us had a talk about his vision for the piece. He had a couple of different main words and ideas, and I wrote them down during our meeting. There were various things like superhero, tree, believe, fight, and there was a general arc to a storyline that he had. And one thing he said that he wanted for the words in the piece that were to be sung, he wanted them to be, for the most part, unintelligible. And then maybe at the very end, they become more intelligible. So after that, Mike created all the music for the piece based on that. And when I was listening to the piece and then I was working on the words, I kept thinking of Swahili, which is a language that I don't speak, but my mother, who is from Congo, is fluent in. And so I think it was something about the rhythm of the piece and sort of the weight and the joy of it together made me think of Swahili. So what I did is I sort of created a gibberish language version of Swahili. I made word clusters, first in English, based on the themes that we discussed about. And then I translated that into Swahili. And then I sort of dissected and moved around the words so that perhaps if in English the phrase were purple balloon, a new version of how my language worked would be loon purr. So I did that for all the word clusters, and then as the piece went on, near the end of the piece, I put in some English so that it to me, when fully translated, translated out of my new language to English, it all made sense. But for the listener, they would only understand a few of the words as it went on. which I think worked for the themes of the show and the arc of the piece, the theme of the piece. Yeah.
Make the world new, make the world new. What's a Joshua, what's a Joshua, what's a Joshua, what's a Joshua. Make the world new, make the world new. We shall be young, change the bring some now.
For the film Willet and Xander, what was most enjoyable, satisfying, really fulfilling for me in making it was that the music had been in my mind for a really long time, and I was just allowing it to marinate and tell me what to do with it. In previous projects that we had collaborated on, where he was composing original music as I was creating the dance, it was a different experience because the music is new and the dance is new, everything is new, and it's often after things have been created and set and performed maybe once, multiple times even, that I feel I can sit back and hear even new things in the music, see new things in the dance, especially Mike's music, because it is so layered and there is so much story in it that it's after the fact often that I'll sit back and hear new layers of the story. There's a new character there, there's something I didn't hear before, a new shade, that it's like, if I could have heard that, felt that before. So that's what is always, I think, a sadness for me, is that I almost want his works to have multiple lives to them, so I can experiment and be like, well, this is one shade I feel in this, and this is another. But when you're making a dance, you just have that one shot, really. But for this particular piece of music, because it just had a very clear feeling for me inside, and it didn't matter really what mood I was coming in, whether I was happy, sad, clear in my mind, or frazzled. It resonated in me in a very direct way of whatever you create to it has to be pure, clean, simple. It's not going to be complex, not a lot of shifts in tone and mood, and I think that was what made it even harder, because I really had to focus and give it time in me to listen and listen and listen and continuing to listen, having it in my headphones all the time, on walking around on the subway, and really giving it all the space it needed in my body and in my brain, until I wasn't even aware I was listening to it anymore. I'm walking down the street and it's playing so much that it's just like my day soundtrack, and only then can I really create to it, especially since it's a work that's already been done. Then it is brand new, then it's brought to life in me.
Bye.